What is going on, guys? So today we're going to be going over part 2 of my Uconsole ultimate build. Essentially, I'm going to go over all of the new things that I've done to this since the last video that I showed this off, and some future plans that I have for this and what I want to get working. So let's go ahead and get started. So in the last video you guys saw that I had the yellow 3D printed faceplate. If you guys are interested in this, I'll leave this in the link. I'll leave a link in the description for this. It's from Printables. It's called the Uconsole 500, and it's a really good faceplate. I highly recommend not printing it in PLA because, as you guys can see, there's some bending just from the heat. So print it in PETG and save yourself some stress. Okay, let's see, what else did we do? Here, we upgraded from the 3D printed to an aluminum faceplate. This is gunmetal. We went from the black hardware screws to purple. I'm not sure on camera, it looks a little pinkish, but these are purple, okay? We upgraded our trackball to our trackpad. Here, we'll use our whip antenna to point. We upgraded our trackball to the trackpad, okay? Also, under the hood, we upgraded the keyboard. So the previous keyboard is like this with these buttons, and they're very spongy. Okay, when you push them, you have to actually have, there's some effort that you have to put into to have these buttons pressed. The key clicks are night and day, and just this alone I think is well worth the price. I'm going to go ahead and take off the screws here, the front faceplate, so that you guys can see the difference between the version 1 keyboard, the original keyboard from ClockworkPi, to the V2 that there's a guy named Lulu. He's pretty big in the Uconsole scene at least in the ClockworkPi forum. He does have a YouTube channel, and I happen to find it, and I'll leave a link in the description for his YouTube channel as well. He just kind of goes over basically he makes videos of like what he wants to do and some of the things that he's just thinking of and all that kind of stuff, of, you know, the next idea that he has in mind for the Uconsole, and even upgrades and things like that of the current stuff that he has out. All right, so let's go ahead, remove these screws. Are actually a little bit longer. These are 6mm and not 4mm like the originals. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the membrane and the diffuser off here. We can gently do it. All right, so as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys are really into the microcontroller scene. I'm sure many of you are. So these buttons will look pretty familiar. They are like buttons for microcontrollers like RST and the boot button for ESP32 devices and many other ones out there. They are very responsive. There's no sponginess. You click it and it's almost too responsive and too clicky, in my opinion. Sometimes when I'm grabbing the console, I accidentally press buttons and it does become a little bit annoying, but when I'm using it, it's night and day. I highly recommend you getting the keyboard. I think the keyboard is like under $50. So, and I'll leave a link in the description where you can pick this up as well. So, trackpad, I made the mistake of, when you purchase it, there are some 3D printed, the green flat one that's right there. On the underside of it, you can see there are little corner notches, right, that kind of come down. So that's why I'm calling it a table, right? They go underneath here, and there are 4 little holes, and it kind of goes one little notch per corner. Well, I was using the green ones, and the faceplate, when I screwed the faceplate in, it was causing the trackpad to compress and the button not be responsive. Scrolling and everything was fine, but the button itself wasn't working. So I noticed on the back of the faceplate were these red ones, and come to find out, they are a couple of layers thinner, and they allow the trackpad to work properly. So yeah, original, new. Getting this new keyboard unfortunately doesn't fix the issue with the backlight. So we are still going to have some inconsistent lighting, and I'm not a fan of that. And it's not, obviously, it's ClockworkPi's fault on this one. You can, and I think I might do this sometime before the next video of my final upgrades video. There is a 3D printed diffuser that you can, of course, print. And I think the person is selling, there's a kit that you can buy from them, like a combo kit for like 25 euros maybe. And I might look into that. It's just printing a white 3D diffuser and placing it there. So we'll take a look at that and see if that's something that we want to do. All right. After this, we've got a couple of, well, we're going to go over a few more things and then go over some of the stuff that I want to do. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this buttoned up here. Make sure that's able to be pressed down again. All right, so we've got that. So to keep going over, we've already seen that we have the HACKERGADGETS all-in-one version 2 board with all of the antennas. Okay, we have our handle here with that, also elevates the console as well, keeps it level on the table for me. We have our CM5 wave share cooler, heatsink, and fan. We have two 10,000 milliamp hour batteries in here in parallel. I'll get to this in a second. We're going to change this in the future, and I'll tell you why. Here on this, we also added the button switch. So if you haven't experienced this, the Uconsole under load can't put out enough power sometimes to like some peripherals that are connected via USB-C, so it browns out. Browning out just basically shuts the system down. The screen will still kind of be backlit, but that's it. And it becomes unresponsive. You can't do anything. So you have to unscrew the back faceplate, take out the batteries, and reassemble everything and turn it back on. This is going to be for the CM5. I'm not 100% if it happens for the CM4, but I know for the CM5 because I have it. This is what happens to a lot of people. So HACKERGADGETS made it so where you could desolder a capacitor, wire these little switches, and I have these little, well, these aren't monetary switches. These are make sure that these are the locking switches, because there's two versions. And if you get the other version, the monetary version, you'll be holding that button down the entire time you're trying to use your console. These will click, it locks into place so that the battery can shut off. You let it go and it turns back on, right? So just keep that in mind if you're going to go this route. So this essentially allows us, so we don't have to take this back plate off. We can just push the button, push it again, and then power the device on. That's just essentially cutting, like if we were disconnecting the battery and reconnecting it, that's what it's emulating. So it's a pain, I know, but one step at a time. We'll eventually get a fix for it later down the road. So what else? We did that, we did the switch, and yeah, so that's gonna be it. Back to the battery. So my plan for the battery is to go back to the 18650 batteries because for a couple of things. One, these two 10,000 milliamp hour batteries for me don't last as long as I want them to. I get maybe 3 hours, 4 hours max with these two, and I'm not sure why, and I still also get brownout with this. Even with those two. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go to the 18650s and put four of them, right? So I'll get over 10,000 milliamps on those, and we'll just have them here sit inside the case. We'll obviously modify the case a little bit, and we'll thicken the wiring a little bit so that way we don't have any restriction through current flow. Okay, and then the JST will be at the end of the wire and can plug right into the HACKERGADGETS board. And of course, these will all be in parallel. This is going to be all going one direction, the batteries, so we got to make sure that we don't follow what's printed on the housing itself. And yeah, so that's what I want to do. It'll also give me some extra room because you can see the thickness difference. I don't know if you can, let's put it side by side, but it's definitely a bigger, it's like almost a little less than half, a little bit more than half, I'd say. So 55%, right? It's a lot thinner. So I'll probably be able to go almost back to the original faceplate size or backplate size. So we'll see. My goal is to have that be smaller, try to avoid any of the browning out on the console. And yeah, so I've got these, and I also have the bigger ones here, right? These are more 18650 housings, battery holders, and we'll see if we can make that work. Anything else? We are getting an RGB cooling fan for this. We're gonna take this off and we'll be putting I wanna say it's an aluminum heatsink plate, like a cooling plate, and then the RGB fan will go right on top of that. I don't know how much I'll use it, but we'll put it on. We'll see how the temperatures are compared to this one here. And then another idea that came to my mind a few days ago is I saw that somebody had a vapor chamber, kind of like this, similar to the ones that are used in mobile phones, and they have them in the aluminum plating of the Uconsole, like the original backplate. So that's also another idea that I'm thinking of trying as well, to kind of keep the cooling down, because I don't necessarily like the heating that comes from the backplate acting as a heatsink when I'm using it. So we'll see. But yeah, anyways, that is going to be it for part 2 of this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, please leave those in the comment section below. I will read them. I will respond to them the best I can. Again, I'll leave all the links in the description below if you want to check any of these out, purchase anything for yourself, as well as the Discord for Lulu. He has his stuff there. And what else? Subscribe if you guys haven't. It really helps me out a lot. You guys can follow the journey of this Uconsole build, and make sure you guys like the video. All right? Okay, guys, that's going to be it. As always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.